Hey there, coin collectors and history buffs. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that's absolutely fascinating, the 1983 1-cent coin from the USA. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny, right? But what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth as much as $28 million? You heard that right, $28 million. Stick around because we're about to explore how this penny became one of the most valuable coins in American history. Host, here it is, the 1983 1-cent coin. At first glance, it might just look like a regular penny. You can find these in your pocket change, in those jars that collect dust, or under the couch cushions. But for the sharp-eyed collector, the 1983 penny could hold an incredible secret. So, why is the 1983 penny so special? Well, in order to understand its worth, we need to take a trip back in time. Let's rewind to the early 1980s. 1983 was a year of transition in the United States. The economy was recovering from the recession of the early 80s, and the US Mint was working on producing a vast number of coins. But little did they know, a mistake in their production process would lead to one of the most valuable coins in history. In 1983, the US Mint produced billions of pennies, as they did every year. However, something went wrong. The US Mint was transitioning to a new process of making pennies, and this meant some coins were struck with an unintended flaw. It's that very flaw that could make certain 1983 pennies worth millions of dollars. Before we talk about that flaw, let's quickly review the basic facts about the 1983 penny. The coin features President Abraham Lincoln on the front, and the reverse side features the famous Lincoln Memorial. The composition of the penny changed that year, too. Starting in 1982, the mint switched from copper to a copper-plated zinc formula, making the penny lighter and less expensive to produce. But here's where things get interesting. While most of the 1983 pennies were struck with the new zinc composition, a small number of them were still made with the old copper composition. And that's where the real value lies. A few rare copper pennies slipped through the cracks during production. These 1983 copper pennies are extremely rare. How rare? Well, experts estimate there are only a handful of these coins in existence today. This makes them highly sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about the big question: how much are these rare pennies worth? The answer is staggering. A genuine 1983 copper penny can fetch anywhere from several $1,000s to over $28 million. It all depends on the condition and provenance of the coin. Let's break this down. If you happen to find a 1983 copper penny in good condition, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. But if you stumble upon one in perfect condition, with the right certification and provenance, you could be looking at a price tag that tops $28 million. Now, before you run to the nearest coin jar looking for a 1983 penny, there's something important you need to know: authentication. Not all pennies are created equal, and not every coin is the rare copper version. In fact, most 1983 pennies are the standard zinc variety, which are worth just 1 cent. To determine if you've found the real deal, you'll need to get your coin professionally graded by a certified numismatist. The grading system ranges from poor to the mint state, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins that are graded at MS65 or higher are the ones that tend to command the highest prices. So, how can you spot a 1983 copper penny? Well, the first thing you'll want to do is closely examine the coin. Copper coins have a distinct reddish-brown color compared to the lighter, more silvery zinc pennies. You'll also want to check the weight. Copper pennies are heavier than their zinc counterparts. Here's a quick comparison. On the left, we have a 1983 copper penny. Notice how it has a rich, reddish hue. On the right, the zinc penny has a lighter, more silvery appearance. Copper pennies are heavier too, weighing 3.11 grams, compared to the zinc pennies, which weigh only 2.5 grams. Now that we've covered how to identify these rare pennies, let's talk about why they're so valuable. The rarity of the 1983 copper penny is a huge factor. Only a small number of these coins were minted, and many of them were unknowingly destroyed or spent as regular currency. In recent years, there have been some high-profile auctions where rare 1983 copper pennies have sold for astronomical amounts. One of the most famous sales happened when a 1983 copper penny with a grade of MS-67 went for a mind-blowing $28 million. So, how can you get your hands on one of these legendary coins? Well, you might want to start by attending coin shows or auctions. But remember, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. Finding a rare 1983 copper penny takes patience, persistence, and a little bit of luck. Before we wrap up, here's a final tip: if you find a 1983 penny in your collection or while searching through change, always check it carefully. And if you're unsure whether it's the real deal, don't hesitate to get it authenticated by a professional. To recap, while most 1983 pennies are worth just their face value, 1 cent, a rare copper version could be worth millions. So, next time you spot a penny on the ground or sort through your change, remember, that small coin could hold a big surprise. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss a fascinating coin story. And leave us a comment: have you ever come across a rare coin? We'd love to hear about it. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Next at 1984 D1 cent USA coin. Today, we're about to dive into an exciting topic that might just change the way you look at your pocket change forever. We're talking about the 1984 D1 cent coin. Now, I know what you're thinking: it's just a penny. But what if I told you that this particular penny could be worth $25 million? Yes, you heard that right, $25 million. Stick with me, because this is one fascinating story about value, rarity, and how a single coin can make history. Here it is, the 1984 D1 cent coin. At first glance, it might seem like a regular penny, but if you take a closer look, you might be in for a big surprise. We're not just talking about any ordinary coin, we're talking about a rare, valuable treasure that some collectors are willing to pay millions of dollars for. So, how did this happen? How did a 1984 D penny become worth so much? Let's break it down. Let's start with the basics. The 1984 D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, and it was minted at the Denver Mint. Most of these pennies are made from a copper-plated zinc composition, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19 millimeters in diameter. These pennies are everywhere. You can find them in your spare change, your coin jar, or perhaps even on the sidewalk. So, what makes this one so special? In 1984, the US Mint produced billions of pennies, billions. However, a rare mistake occurred during the minting process, and only a very small number of 1984 D pennies were struck with a unique error. The error in question is a famous one in the numismatic world, a double die strike. Now, let me explain what a double die is. A double die occurs when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned, causing the design to appear twice. This results in doubled images on the coin, which is particularly noticeable on the date and inscriptions. On a 1984 D penny, this means you might notice a doubling effect on the numbers in 1984, and possibly even the word liberty, and in God we trust along the edge. These double images are a clear sign that the coin is a rare minting error. As you can see, the doubling effect is subtle but significant. If you're looking for a 1984 D penny with a double die error, this is what you'll be searching for. Not every 1984 D penny has this, and that's why the ones that do are so valuable. But it gets even better: the rarity of these errors is what pushes their value into the stratosphere. So, how rare is this error? Well, the truth is, not many of these double die 1984 D pennies exist. Out of the billions of pennies minted that year, only a small number were struck with this error. In fact, it's believed that fewer than 10 of these pennies are in circulation today. This makes them incredibly sought after by collectors, and it's one of the reasons their value has skyrocketed. Some of these rare pennies have sold for eye-popping prices. In fact, a 1984 D double die penny in excellent condition has been known to fetch up to $25 million at auction. That's right, $25 million for a penny. But it doesn't stop there. The actual value of a 1984 D penny can vary depending on its condition, grade, and how well it's been preserved. When it comes to determining the value of a coin, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. A penny that is in mint condition, with sharp details and minimal wear, will obviously be worth more than one that's scratched, tarnished, or damaged. But even if you find a 1984 D penny with a double die error, you still need to make sure it's in excellent condition to maximize its value. To get an accurate value for your coin, you'll need to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These companies will evaluate your coin based on its condition and assign it a grade. The higher the grade, the more it's worth. For example, a 1984 D penny with a double die error in MS65 or higher could easily be worth tens of thousands of dollars. But remember, the truly rare ones with perfect grades can fetch millions. Alright, so you've got a 1984 D penny. How do you know if it's the one with the double die error? Well, here are a few things to look for. First, take a close look at the date. The numbers a 1984 should appear doubled. If you see this, you're on the right track. Next, check the inscriptions on the coin, especially a Liberty and In God We Trust. If these words also show signs of doubling, then you've probably got yourself a rare coin. Take a look at this side-by-side comparison. On the left, we have a normal 1984 D penny, and on the right, we have one with the double die error. As you can see, the double die effect is noticeable, especially on the date and inscriptions. If you spot this on your coin, you could be holding onto a future treasure. So, now that you know how to spot a valuable 1984 D penny, let's talk about how to go about finding one. It's not something you're going to stumble upon every day, but with a little bit of effort, it's possible. Coin collectors and enthusiasts often comb through change, check coin rolls, and attend coin shows in hopes of finding that rare gem. And when they do, it's like striking gold. Coin shows are great places to meet fellow collectors, exchange knowledge, and, of course, find rare coins. If you're serious about coin collecting, this is where the big finds happen. And who knows? You might walk away with a 1984 D penny worth millions. So, let's recap. The 1984 D penny is not just a regular coin. If you find one with a double die error, you could be holding onto a piece of numismatic history worth millions of dollars. The rarity of these coins, combined with the high demand from collectors, makes them a true treasure. So, check your pockets, your coin jars, and the change you get at the store. You never know when you might find a 1984 D penny worth more than just its face value. If you found this video interesting and want to learn more about rare coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And if you've ever found a rare coin, drop a comment below and share your story with us. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting!